Yasomati Nandana Brajabarana Kara Gokularandana Khana Yasomati Nandana Brajabarana Kara Gokularandana Khana Yasomati Nandana Brajabarana Kara Gokularandana Khana Nandana Brajabarana Kara Gokularandana Khana Gopi Parana Gopi Parana Gopi Parana Kalaya Dhammana Vidhana Kalaya Dhammana Vidhana Kalaya Dhammana Vidhana Kalaya Dhammana Vidhana Amalari Nam Hanya Vilasa Hanya Vilasa Amala Harinam Hanya Vilasa Amala Harinam Hanya Vilasa Dina Purandharana Dina Purandharana Dina Purandharana Palana Sura Pulana Rajajana Palana Nanda Godana Nanda Godana Sita So welcome on everyone again to our ongoing study of Srimad Bhagavatam at the level of Bhakti Vaibhava. And we're on the third canto. And today we're going to be looking at chapter number 10. Divisions of the creation. Right, we heard in the previous chapter Lord Brahma praying for creative energy. So he got the results of his prayers. His prayers are being answered. The Lord told him, it's been done before, you can do it again. Shouldn't be a problem. The power is all there. So, in this way, we're going to hear how the Lord divided the creation. Of course, we've heard it before in different places. Kind of common knowledge, even common knowledge for people. They speak about heaven and hell in Christianity. Either you go to heaven or you go to hell, and hell and damnation forever. Right? If you don't surrender, they would speak something like that. And some of the preachers would be like that. They preach about hell, and you go to hell, put in hell, damnation forever. Not very merciful, is it? What kind of God is that? Puts you into hell forever with no chance of redemption. It doesn't sound very merciful for us. So we like, of course, Christianity, that they say, oh, you take advantage of the mercy of God. One of the reasons why they edited reincarnation out of the Bible was people won't become serious if they think there's reincarnation. If they think there's another birth, well, I'll get a second chance. So we've got time in the future. We can always, become more pious and more religious later on. Why we have to give this life? We can do it next life. If there's a future birth, wait till the next life and we'll become God conscious. So that was one reason why they edited reincarnation out of the Bible, because they thought people will just take advantage of that. They won't be serious. Anyway, creation. We tend to be very materialistic in our vision of the life and the planets. And what do people think about life in the universe? What do we usually think, most people, common people?
life here, only here.
Only here, yeah. They think life is only on this planet. That's what they think. It's the only place there's life. But we said, it's not very reasonable, is it? Prabhupada said living entities are everywhere. They're everywhere, in everything. Prabhupada gives an interesting example. He said about opium. Opium is a poison, but there's insects which live in opium. They can live in it. And they used to think that if you sterilize something, if you heat it up to a high temperature, they called it sterilization, that you kill everything. You kill all the bacteria. No living entities will survive in the heat. They thought like that up until a few years ago, when they found out actually there are living entities even after sterilization. Even you heat something and burn some, but there are living entities which still live there. They can survive the heat.
Like germs and stuff?
Huh?
Microbes?
Yeah, like that, yeah. And similarly, freezing cold. Oh, remember the battle between Lord Shiva and Lord Krishna? How did they fight? Lord Shiva's weapon was the
Shiva,
huh?
the Shiva Jura.
The Shiva Dwara, yeah, the fever of Lord Shiva. Alright, make everything very hot, burn everything. And Lord Vishnu's weapon, Lord Krishna used the Vishnu Dwara. Right? What was that?
Both cold and heat.
Yeah, freeze everything. And the ice is also like burning or something, isn't it? It's another kind of heat to make everything frozen. So when there's heat, people can usually tolerate it. Like here in India, it can get very hot sometimes, can go up 50 plus, no problem. People can tolerate it. But when it gets very cold, then very difficult. Right? This lady, she's from Russia. She lived in a very cold part of Russia. Minus 40.
50, 56.
Minus 56.
Which part?
Yakutia, north of Russia. Far north part of Russia.
They paid her extra money for living in such a cold place.
Yes, really. Salaries are high. Yeah.
Colder than Canada, yeah.
Yeah, colder.
Up north, nobody lives there.
Nobody lives there, but people live there.
Yeah, but a lot of people live, yes, in Russia, in such regions.
Huh?
A lot of people lives in Russia in such regions. There are there are 3 towns and 3 cities with 1 million people, more than million inhabitants in each city.
3,000 cities.
Yeah.
With more than
No. 3 cities which lives about 1 million people. Yes.
3 cities.
Yeah, 3 cities, more than 1 million people. Yeah.
With more than 1 million.
Yeah.
What about them? There are only 3 cities with more than
No. In this region, in this north region.
in that
Yes.
northern
Yeah.
region.
In the
3 cities.
polar circle.
Huh?
Polar circle.
The polar circle.
Yeah. Near the polar circle, there are 3 big cities.
Very dark. Most of half the year dark.
Yeah.
So there is no sun in minus 56.
Don't get much sunlight.
So in minus 56 degrees you cannot get sun, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you get sun in minus 56 degrees? No? Do you?
Well, in the winter you don't get, but in the summer you can get some sun. They have very short summer. I went Kamchatka.
Yeah.
Kamchatka is an extreme east part of Russia. It's almost near to Alaska. It's very extreme. There's no roads. You have to fly to get there. But there's like a million people live there. Or something. Well, no, a few 100,000, not a million, a few 100,000, like that. People live there, and they have a very cold climate, and they only get a couple of months of summer. 2 months of summer, the rest of it's winter, very cold. Have you read it in Srimad Bhagavatam? It describes about the lower planets. And the lower planets below Bhumandala, we're in Bhumandala, below Bhumandala, dark. There's no sunlight. How do they get light? They have jewels on their bodies. The jewels on their bodies is the light for them. So the demons, they're supposed to live in that kind of place. Sometimes the demons come, they conquer the heavenly planets, like Bali Maharaj conquered the heavenly planets. So they live in the darkness. It's not very pleasant, to live in the dark all the time. 24 hours a day dark. No light. How do they grow food? I don't know. How nothing can grow without light. You need light for things to grow. I don't know how they survive. Anyway, I'm not too interested, I don't want to go there. But people survive in Russia. How do they bring food from other places?
In the under the glass. What is the name of it?
Greenhouse.
Greenhouse. Yeah. In greenhouses. Yes.
Greenhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. People, of course, it makes food very expensive because they have to air condition the greenhouse.
Yeah, but mostly they transfer the food from other regions. They bring from other regions.
Yeah.
So it's very expensive.
In China they do that also. China's quite a big country, and they bring what grows in the south, they bring it to the north. Like
US is like that also.
yeah, US everywhere. England they don't grow anything hardly in England. They have to import everything. It's all imported. They get it from Europe and Spain and North Africa and even Kenya. They bring things. They bring it to England. In England they can't grow much. All they can grow is some potatoes. There was a potato famine one year. It's a long time ago. There was a famine. There were no potatoes. People were starving. Even France also they have a problem. They can't grow too much. They have grapes, and French grapes. That's about it. Bread, difficult for them to get bread. They don't eat rice. European. You won't eat much rice. No rice. It's not common. Food. The problem.
What did they eat in England before there were potatoes? Potatoes are from the western hemisphere originally. So before Columbus, there had to have been some type of, they were eating just like wheat. Didn't they grow wheat in England?
Yeah, they grow some wheat. Yeah. They got corn, some wheat. They don't grow rice. No rice. But cabbage and potatoes, right? Cabbage and potatoes. Russia is like that as well. Cabbage. In Russia, they give a piece of land to everyone. Everyone gets a piece of land, right?
Yeah.
They get a piece of land, and then they can go and grow some things on it. That because Russia was socialist country. So they gave everyone a piece of land, not a big piece of land, but enough that they can go and cultivate things. So sometimes you're on the train, people are sitting in the train station with a cabbage, trying to sell the cabbage, to people on the train. Yeah, they didn't have factories. Factories, how long factories? What did Prabhupada say about factories? Did you read?
Another name of hell.
Yes, another name for hell. Factories. Did you ever work in a factory? No? You never had the experience. No? Did you work in a factory, Prabhupada?
No, the IT companies proper the steel cages, he said. The IT companies, big towers, where people work with IT professionals. Proper call them like steel cages.
Steel cages.
Did you work in a factory, Maharaj, before you were a devotee?
Well, what happened was, when I was a student, during the summer vacation, I had to earn some money, so I got a job, and it was a biscuit factory. It was a biscuit factory, and the job was we had to take a biscuit, put them in a box, Yeah, it was a long time ago, and there was not much automation, and they just hired people to. The biscuits would come down the conveyor belt. You would just stand there and put the biscuits in. And when the supervisor's not looking, take the biscuits and throw them at people. Very interesting. Working there in the night shift. Sometimes you have to do these things, just to get the experience what it's like. If you're just simple ladies, ordinary ladies, uneducated women, they will stand there all day. No problem at all, they'll talk to each other, but men are a different nature, nasty quarreling and quite a different scene. The factories definitely a hell. And gradually they close, and they move to other places. They used to have all these factories in Hong Kong, then they all moved to China. The factories all moved to China. They used to make children's toys and things. They used to make them in Hong Kong. But gradually the economy changed and things became more expensive in Hong Kong. So everything moved to China. And the factories moved to China, and labor is much cheaper in China. So you got cheaper labor in China, everything was cheap. They moved everything from Hong Kong into China. And they got everything done in China, but now China's become more expensive. So they're moving it out of China, they're moving it to other undeveloped countries, moving it to went to Vietnam a little bit. Vietnam also become expensive. They take advantage wherever there's cheap labor, exploiting the people. So, anyway, this is a way of creation. The Lord created the universe, different standards of living. On the one planet you have different standards of living. You have the developing countries, and you have the developed countries, right? Canada's a developed country. The USA is a developed country. We think, ordinary people. Of course, when you go there, you realize, it's not so developed. There's a lot of problems there also. but generally, it's a developed country. And, you know, Philippines, Thailand, semi-developing, Philippines, third world country. You go to the Middle East, in the Middle East, everybody comes from other countries. They don't have too many people there in the Middle East, and they bring the labor from other countries. All different nationalities of people there working, living. Usually they come from the undeveloped countries. They come and they earn money. What is it they were calling it? Oh. In Taiwan. Taiwan is kind of developed country. You know, they have much higher technology. They come, you know, a lot more microchips and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And so the people there are a bit wealthier, and they get a maid to take care of their children while they go to work. So they get the lady to come from the other country to come. You know, and she'll be coming from somewhere, maybe like the Philippines or somewhere, which is a poorer country. It's actually, countries like the Philippines, it's actually rich in natural resources, but in terms of technology, it's not so well. In terms of big factories and things, not so well. But it's actually rich that they can grow rice, they can grow quite a bit of food. They have a lot of coconut trees, flowers everywhere. I was telling you, in America, you go to Japan to buy flowers. Wow, it's so expensive. Guru Puja, you get one petal to offer. Everyone give one petal to you, one petal. Well, I remember when I became a devotee in England, Guru Puja, we'd offer a petal. We each got a petal. Because in England, flowers are also very expensive. So Japan, super expensive. And in Europe, hardly, the flowers they only buy once a week for the deities. One day a week they put flowers on the deities.
Which temple?
The whole list of them. Sweden, Denmark, and Holland.
On Sunday only.
Huh?
On Sunday.
Yeah. I said, where are the flowers? Oh Maharaj, you know flowers are very costly in our country.
Oh my God.
Yeah, cost them a fortune. You go to a country like Malaysia, have so many flowers, you know, Tulsi Puja, give you a big plate of flowers to offer to Tulsi, you know. And these countries, in European countries, they give you one little flower. You know? Tulsi Puja.
If you get a flower, it doesn't smell anything.
Yeah, that's also true. They say flowers from America don't have any smell anymore.
No scent at all.
No scent at all. Yeah, a devotee came from America and they gave up a garland and said, "Oh, that's unbelievable." They said in America when we get a garland, it doesn't have any smell.
Why don't we take plants from Mayapur to America and Europe?
I don't know why the flowers in America don't smell. But the roses, I mean, I've been buying my year roses every week. The roses are so amazing here. They have such a scent. But in Hawaii, there's a lot of nice flowers. But besides Hawaii, and then in the south, like southern United States, they have I think they're called magnolias.
Yeah.
Prabhupada called them the land lotus.
Oh, yeah.
Prabhupada really liked them. Yeah, Prabhupada loves the magnolia. It's a very fragrant flower.
He liked that white flower. What, gardenia?
Gardenia. Yeah,
Gardenia. Not magnolia, gardenia. Yeah, gardenia. Very fragrant. But white color. You know, white colored flowers are generally for mourning. when somebody dies, you know that.
There's some little jasmines in America that have nice scent that we grow at the temple.
The jasmine.
Night jasmines, they're very fragrant.
Mm.
That's about it. For
Yeah.
flowers. You can't go buy fragrant flowers. It's all chemical grown, I guess.
Prabhupada said, a flower which has no fragrance. He said, just like, what are these flowers called? They have these flowers in Thailand. Gardenia, but what are orchids? Orchids, right? Now orchids, generally people think, oh, they're very beautiful, but they have no smell.
But yesterday the dress had lots of orchids. Yesterday's Pushabhishek dresses, most of the flowers were not scented.
No.
Or they had used orchids, and those big flowers, they don't have much scent.
Yeah. So Prabhupada said a flower may be very beautiful, but if it has no fragrance, he said it's like a good-looking man who has bad qualities. Do you know those kind of men? Right? Some man is very good looking, but he's really a debauchee. So flowers can be like that, you know, look very nice, but no smell.
In the U.S., what is that here? The yellow flowers and the orange ones?
Marigolds?
Marigolds grow good in the
Yeah,
U.S.
marigold.
They don't have scent?
They have said the marigolds are good. But Jayamedha Maharaj came to Tucson, and you know, he likes lots of flowers for his deities, his Giriraj deities. You go gather flowers with Maharaj. Well, you're not allowed to buy flowers. You have to go find them because we're in a desert, Tucson. He said you have to find them because they don't have scent. So we were going all over Tucson picking flowers that had tiny bits of scent. Maharaj, pretty much like weed flowers, but some of them were like good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, flowers. So, okay. So different levels of existence, the heavenly planets and the Bhumandala, earthly planets, earthly regions, and the hellish planets. And even on the one planet, there's different levels of existence. And even in the one country, you know, just like here, you can live in the same city, and somebody may be living in heavenly opulence, and somebody's living in poverty. Here in Mayapur, for example, you know, you've got some people, you go to their apartment, and wow, you know, it's really plush, you know, some people have these really extravagant, opulently furnished apartments. And somebody else, you go over to Jalandi there, you know, and they're living in the tin hut, you know?
Tin houses.
Huh?
Saraswati Nagar is all tin houses.
Yeah,
Tin
right.
shed houses.
Right, you know, yeah, and they're all living in Mayapur, but you know, some people are living in one way of life, and other people are living in another. So, in the same place, you've got heaven and hellish existence. And I'm sure it's like that in Montreal also.
Sometimes, many times, I think, not Montreal only, but there's a lot of camps. You have people camping all over because there's no housing.
Oh yeah?
Even in the winter.
Even in the winter, camping.
Like village of camping.
There's
Like,
whole
like
cities,
200 people homeless camping.
Yeah, like that in Tucson also. LA though, it's like cities. Cities of tents. And just shacks.
Really, in Montreal it's like that. People camping
Yeah, since a few years.
since a few years. The government can't provide any housing for them.
Well, now he resigned, and let's see what.
I heard there's a lot of immigrants in Canada. That's why they don't have enough for them.
I'm not an economist, but they print a lot of money, and it's hard to build houses. I don't know.
It must be difficult to do Sankirtan there.
I don't know. Well, yeah. People are a little bit broke recently, but
The camping, where do they put their tents? In the park?
yeah, like by the main road or whatever.
Oh my
On
god.
the side of the road.
Yeah.
I always think, like Tucson, India, like in so many ways, it's nicer than U.S. Like, because there's so many drugs, and so many homeless people in the U.S. and there's very violent and dangerous. And here it's like it doesn't look as nice, but it actually seems a lot safer.
Oh. Interesting.
No, we hope it's safer.
No.
Some people have good experiences and some people have bad
Bad
experiences.
I,
Okay. Have to be careful. You definitely don't want to be moving around too much at night. Better to be safe and find somewhere where you can be secure. In the night, you don't know what's going to happen in the night. Okay, so let's hear what Maitreya has to say about the creation. We're going to hear about the different divisions of creation. When Vidura asks, he wants to know about the bodies of the living entities. They're created from Lord Brahma's own body and mind after the disappearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we're going to hear about two different kinds of creation. One is the creation which was taken place done in the beginning by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the other is the creation of Lord Brahma. And that's like there's Sarga and Visarga, right? So the Visarga is the creation of Lord Brahma. So Vidura has doubts. He wants to get the doubts all removed. Sutta Goswami is quoted, and Sutta Goswami says, "O son of Brigu, who's Brigu? Who's Brigu?
One of the seven sages.
Huh?
One of the sages.
Yeah, who's he connected to? Do you know anything about him? Who's his father?
Son of Brahma.
Brahma, son of Brahma, one of the sons of Brahma, right? Brigu Muni, right?
Yes.
He got sent to do what?
Kick
To
Lord
check
Vishnu in the chest.
Yes,
Yeah.
right, Brigu. To test Shiva and Brahma and Vishnu. So, O son of Brigu, who's the son of Brigu?
My,
Huh? O son of Brigu, the great sage, Maitreya Muni. He's addressing him in that way because he said, you're the son of Brigu, you should have the intelligence to understand this. Because Brigu is a very intelligent person. He's the son of Brahma and he's very intelligent. He could go and test Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva.
I have a question because it says Sutta Goswami said, "O son of Brigu." So is Sutta Goswami speaking to Shanika?
He's speaking to Shonaka.
So Shanika is the son of Brigu.
Shonaka is the son of Brigu,
Oh.
right. Shonaka, thank you for that. Shonaka is the head of the sages. So the son of Brigu, Shonaka, O son of Brigu, the great sage Maitreya Muni, thus hearing from Vidura, felt very much in line. So Maitreya heard from Vidura, is enlightened to hear the questions.
then who is Maitreya's son of?
Uh-huh.
Like, who's Maitreya's father then?
Who's Maitreya's father? Well, who's his guru? We know who his guru is, right? Who was his guru? Parasaramana. Father's not very important. You got guru, right? Give up the father. The spiritual father. Janame janabe sabe pita mata pai, Krishna Guru nahi mere bhaja hare ai. Right? The Bengali speaker will know the meaning. Everyone has got a mother and father, but only the fortunate living entity, as Guru, by grace of Guru, they get Krishna. Okay, so then, back to Maitreya. Brahma thus engaged himself in penance. Brahma is doing more penance for 100 celestial years. And we calculate 100 celestial years is not very long time for Lord Brahma. He lives a long time. Prabhupada said there is no retirement. Service is eternal and ever encouraging. So Brahma saw the lotus on which he was situated and the water in which the lotus was growing were trembling due to the strong, violent wind. When there's a lot of wind, you know, if you go to England, I'm sure Canada also, you get these cold winds, right? The winter time. You can get very cold wind. So, this is the wind coming from the Garbhodak ocean, and it was very powerful. What did Brahma do? There's a wind blowing, and the waves are getting big because the wind's blowing. The waves got bigger and bigger. The waves from the Garbhodak ocean. So Brahma he did long penance and transcendental knowledge of self-realization, and it had matured him in practical knowledge. Thus he drank the wind completely along with the water. That's one way of dealing with the issue. You drink the wind. Like, who drank the Ganga?
Janamuni.
Janamuni could drink the Ganga. And so here Brahma drank the wind, and then he drank also the water. He dried up the ocean, the Garbhodak ocean, and drank it all. And then he begins to contemplate about how to situate all the planets. The planets were previously merged in that lotus. All the planets were in the lotus, but now he's going to do creation. The planets are going to come out from the lotus, they're going to manifest. So, text 8 describes, Brahma entered into the world of the lotus, and as it spread all over the universe, he divided it into 3 divisions of worlds, and later into 14 divisions. 3 divisions was the initial attempt to divide the universe. But he thought it wasn't enough. There were so many different conditions. You know, the Christianity approach is to make everything very simple. Either you're God, either you're good or you're bad. So either you go to heaven or you go to hell. And so you ask them, but what if I'm a little bit bad and not somewhere in between, you know what? And they say, well, you've got a purgatory. Purgatory is somewhere in between heaven and hell. So they come up with this, you know. It's a speculation. We don't actually see this in the script. But they say like that. So in the same way, Lord Brahma created the universe, 3 divisions. Heaven, the upper region, the earthly region or Bhumandala, and the lower regions, the hellish region, Patala, Loka. But then he thought, it's not enough, and he created 14 divisions. So 14 divisions, and where is Earth among the 14 divisions?
Between
Seven, right, in the middle there. So 14 different divisions. And actually, it said in Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary on this, he said 14 was not enough because you have also the sun and the moon and you have other things.
The hellish planets are below the 14 worlds.
Huh?
The hellish planets are below the 14 worlds.
Oh yeah. Well, no, hellish planets, they're the lower regions. 14. It includes the hellish planet.
I thought they were below the Atala.
Well, it depends how you practice them. Usually, it's, the earth is number 7. So below earth, you've got 7 more regions. And those are usually the hellish planets. So Lord Brahma is the most exalted personality because of his causeless devotional service in mature transcendental knowledge. He therefore created all the 14 planetary systems for inhabitation by the different types of living entities. Different types of people. Some people, they go to Montreal, unbearable, oh no, it's so cold, they could not tolerate it. But some people, they come to Calcutta and they say, oh, unbearable, it's so hot, oh, unbearable. We get people come from North China and they come down to Hong Kong, oh, it's so hot, we become conditioned to the different conditions in which we are living in. Just like Bengali people, they have to eat rice every day. If there's no rice, oh my gosh, no rice, how we're starving and no rice. It's torture. In the same way, English people, no potatoes. How can you live without potatoes? If you go to Bhakti Manor, every day potatoes, every prasadam potato.
Unfortunately, when you tell Americans, that's what the Americans say when you say, I'm becoming a vegetarian, how can you live without meat? How can you live without meat?
Yeah, difficult. So, 14 different planetary different divisions, different things you can eat in different levels of existence. You live in the Arctic conditions, ice flat, where the Eskimos are living. What do the Eskimos eat?
Fish. Fish.
They fish.
Fish.
Yeah, they eat fish generally. They catch some fish, They don't eat the polar bears, right? No, I was asking a Russian lady because there's this one place, Kamchatka, they call it land of the bears. It's a lot of bears. The bears run around just like dogs. We have dogs and the bears are running around the streets. But it's become a bit bad that some of the bears have become a bit ferocious. And they're not too big, smaller bears, we get some big ones, but usually it's the smaller bears, running around the city, around the streets like dogs, But somehow they started killing the bears or something. And then the bears started becoming fierce and they started to attack people. Became dangerous. Problems. And actually, the people eat the bears, and this lady below, she told me, she said, they have to cook the bear meat for 6 hours. They have to
No.
boil it for 6 hours. It's so full of all kinds of, bad things, things like, and if people, humans eat it, they often get very, very sick. Some people will die. So there's certain food arranged for certain people. You live in the desert. What do you eat in the desert? What do people in the desert?
Dates.
Huh?
Dates.
Eat dates,
A
yeah.
lot of cactus food. Maharaj.
Huh? Cactus fruit.
Yeah, and they grow corn.
Mm-hmm.
At least the desert I'm from, the
Mhm.
natives, they used to eat corn, squash,
Mhm.
and beans. They grow them, and then they some of the cactus, the paddle cactus.
Mhm.
They take that and they take the thorns out and they cook it like a vegetable.
Okay. Yeah, everywhere there's something to eat, you see. So wherever you go on the planet, in different conditions, you can find something to maintain the existence. It's the arrangement of the Lord. Is the mic on?
This is good.
So 14 different planetary divisions, because different kinds of living entities have to live in these different conditions. So they bring up this word in the purport, pratibimbas.
It's good.
Pratibimbas, right? You know this word? Are you familiar? What's pratibimba?
Reflection.
Huh?
Reflection.
Yeah. It said, conditioned souls reflect only part of the qualities. Krishna, the Supreme Lord, He's the reservoir of all the qualities of all the living entities. But conditioned souls, we will reflect only part of those qualities. So they're sometimes called pratibimbas. Pratibimbas are part and parcel of the Lord, having inherited different proportions of His original qualities. In terms of their inheritance of these qualities, they appear as different species of life and are accommodated in different planets according to the plan of Brahma. You have any examples of them? We don't know about things on other planets, but we know about things on this planet in different conditions, and how certainly the different conditions, different qualities. In India, for example, you have the Aborigines. You have some Aborigine, mountain people maybe.
Tribal people.
Tribal.
Huh?
Tribal.
Tribals, right. Bhakti Purushottam Swami is preaching to the tribal people. Because the Christian people often try to convert them and bring them to Christianity. So he's trying to keep them in the Hindu culture. So you have tribal people, and they have their ways and their customs. And you go to somewhere like Europe, and it's a different culture. And you go to South America, the original inhabitants of South America, they're not there. What happened to all the original inhabitants of South America?
They died off because of the Europeans.
Yeah, they all got murdered by the Spanish and the Portuguese. They came there and killed them all. They just killed them all. Took over the whole place. Just like the USA, who are the original people, the original settlers of the USA? The Red Indians, yes. The Red Indians, where are they today?
Reservations mostly.
Are they still in the reservations?
Yeah, Arizona, where I'm from, has a lot of Native American people.
Oh, really?
A lot. So I see a lot of that culture there.
A lot of Indians?
A lot of, a lot of Indians. The Grand Canyon area, that area is very full of Indians.
Really? What do they do?
It's unfortunate, Maharaj. A lot of the suffering in alcoholism. Suffers a lot. They suffer with alcoholism a lot and that type of thing. But the ones that are like culturally, there's different tribes. The Apaches are from Arizona. The Apaches were kind of a violent warrior race.
Apaches?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were famous.
Yeah, and they're Arizona. That's where they're located. They have their cultural festivals. I don't know so much about it, but they like kind of like animalism, sea god and everything type thing. Nature spirits, spirit of the sun and the water and the forest and that type of thing.
And they ever become devotee in
They're very hard to preach to in our experience. One boy who is kind of like native in Tucson, he became a devotee. But he's coming more from the Mexican tribes rather than the Arizona northern tribes. But he became a devotee. And he was very much into their culture and he spoke like that language and everything. But, Dasarath Prabhu was trying to preach to them for a while. He said he wasn't having very much success.
Dasarath?
Yeah.
Dasarath Sutta?
No Sutta. Dasarath, he's your godbrother?
Is it proper the same?
Yeah.
I thought it was Dasarath Sutta.
There was never, I don't think his name is Sutta. There's two Dasaraths. This Dasarath, he was a sannyasi at one point.
Was it?
Yeah. He was preaching mostly in Phoenix and Arizona. He started the Phoenix temple. He's mostly now in Prescott.
Where?
Prescott, Arizona. Doesn't do very much like preaching.
Okay, so Brahma created the three worlds, lower planets, Patala Lokas, middle planets, Bur Loka, and upper planets, Swar Loka, or hell, heaven, and earth. Still higher planets, you've got the four planets at the top of the universe. Mahar, Tapa, Satyaloka, Brahmaloka. Satyaloka, I thought Satyaloka was Brahmaloka. This is a mistake. This is a mistake. It should be Mahaloka, Janaloka.
Yes.
There's Mahaloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, and Satya or Brahmaloka. Do not dissolve. And okay, the existence continues up to the end of the Dviparada time. What's Dviparada time?
50 years.
Huh? 50
Wow.
years of Brahma's time, yeah.
Twice of 50 years.
Dviparad.
Dvi means
Two
twice
parad.
of
100 years. Dviparada. Parada means 50 years of plus. 250 years means 100 years.
So after the end of the life of Brahma. Yeah. So then generally they should be liberated, right? So then Vidura has a question again. He's a very inquisitive guy. Got a lot of questions. Got another question he wanted to say. Kindly describe eternal time, which is another form of the Supreme Lord, the wonderful actor. What are the symptoms of that eternal time? Please describe them to us. Time is one of the 5 subject matters of the Bhagavad Gita. What did we learn about time from the Bhagavad Gita?
Kala. Time is Kala.
Time and destroyer of all the three worlds. Krishna says in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita,
Uh-huh.
time I am destroyer of all the worlds.
Yes, that's one thing Krishna said about time, yeah. Time I am, destroyer of the world. And what will happen? What did he say? Everyone will be slain.
Except the Pandavas.
But for you Pandavas, right? Right, so that was one thing about time. Do you have any sayings about time? Do you know anything? Do you ever come across that? What?
Time is money.
Time is money. See, you can tell where her mind is, right? She's thinking about the money. Time is money. Money is the honey, right? Time is honey. Time is money. If you talk to a lawyer, I went to see this one man, Indian man, in Hong Kong, businessman. He said, just a minute. He said, I have to talk to my lawyer. He said, just a minute. He said, I can't talk. He said, I have to pay by the minute. Every minute I talk to him, I have to pay a certain amount of money. He charges me by the minute. Lawyers make a lot of money. That's how it is. You talk to a lawyer, you know, with money. You won't spend time talking to them. You got to pay. You want to speak to them. So Vidura wants to hear about eternal time. Anybody got a definition about time? What do you know about time?
Time is the.
What did Chanakya say about time?
We cannot buy any amount of wealth.
Yes, Chanakya said. The same saying is in Chinese. They have that saying, "I tun jin nan mai tun guang yin." It's the Chinese. I mean, you can buy an inch of time. You can buy an inch of gold, but you cannot buy 1 inch of time. That's the saying. And they have another saying. They say, "Guang yin shi jian." Time moves like the arrow. You ever watch people fire arrows? You ever fired arrows? You know, the arrow goes so fast, right? So time moves like the arrow. So very careful, have to use the time very carefully. Don't waste time. So what does Maitreya have to say about time here? What are some definitions of time given here?
Eternal.
Time is eternal, right?
Time is
We don't know when it began, we don't know when it ends, right?
It's the active ingredient in the material world that makes things change. Like the time Krishna's glance or Karmadakshana Vishnu glance in the material world, time was there. And time in the jivas, and so time agitated everything.
Yes.
Unmanifested.
Yeah, it's like that. If you look here at text number 11, Maitreya is saying like that. He said it's the primeval source of the interactions of the 3 modes of material nature. So the source of the interactions of the 3 modes. So everything is happening due to time. Right? Due to time, the building is being put up, and in time the building will be knocked down. The same build. Everything happens under the influence of time. And the bodies we have will grow, and then they will grow old, and one day they will drop by the influence of time. Because everything is under the influence of time. So Prabhupada writes, it's the impersonal feature of the Lord. Time is the background of the material manifestation. The background of the material manifestation. Behind everything, there is time, which is causing everything to evolve and ultimately to decay. It's the impersonal feature of the Lord. Krishna says, time I am. So Krishna is time, but this is his impersonal feature. So Prabhupada comments quite a lot about time. It's an important subject matter. Prabhupada quotes Jiva Goswami. Time factor is intermixed with the activities, actions and reactions of the external energy. Material nature appears to have produced so many wonderful things in the cosmic manifestation. It appears that things are just like you plant the seeds in the fields over here. You plant the seeds, and in course of time, the seeds sprout, and you get a field of mustard. Right? We grow our mustard plants. But in time, the mustard plants also are fully ripened, and then they're harvested, and we take all the seeds, and we collect the seeds. And then these seeds, some are used for cooking. When we cook our cabbage, you need mustard seed, right? Cook cabbage, gotta have some mustard seed. You cook? Hmm? You know how to cook cabbage? You gotta use mustard seeds. And mustard seeds should pop. Right? Put them in the... You hear the mustard seeds popping. This cosmic manifestation is separated from the Supreme Lord as material energy by means of Kala. What is Kala? Time. Which is the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Lord. It is situated as the objective manifestation under the influence of the same material energy of Vishnu. So time. We should have some basic definitions of these kind of words. Just like Mahatattva. What is Mahatattva? What's your...
The amalgamated state of material nature, the amalgamation of all the elements.
All the elements of material nature, the sum total of all the elements of the material nature. And Prabhupada gives an example about time, how time is a separated energy, manifested world, but it appears to be something else, beyond or besides the Lord. It appears so because of its being separated from the Lord by means of Kala, time. Something like the tape-recorded voice of a person who is now separated from the voice. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks about his separated energy, right? Where does he speak about separated energy?
Maya.
Huh?
This is Bhakti.
Chapter 74.
Yes, what's the verse?
74.
Yeah, what's the verse?
4.
74.
Is it?
4.
What's the verse?
Yeah, Aparayamitasanya.
No, before that one.
Before one.
These 8 constitute by earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. These 8 constitute by separated material energy.
These 8, right? Bumer?
Apo, Nalo, Bayo, Budir, vacha
Earth, water,
ahankara
mind,
bhinna prakriti
Ahankara iti yame
bhinna prakriti
Bina prakriti ashtada, right? My separated energy, right? The 8 elements, altogether these 8 comprise my separated material. Prabhupada talks about the separated energy. He said, just like a woman, she may have a husband, but they may be separated. And so then the relation is not very sweet. The relationship is not very close because they're separated. And then he said also, just like the milk from the cow. They bring a glass of milk. He said, this is the separated energy from the cow. And then he said also the example, the recording of the voice on the tape recorder. Prabhupada's talking would be recorded. He said, this is separated energy. So the same way, tape recorder is situated, the tape recording is on the tape, the cosmic manifestation is situated on the material energy and appears separate by means of kala. The material manifestation is therefore the objective manifestation of the Lord and exhibits His impersonal feature, so much adored by impersonalist philosophers. Oh, so nice, the impersonal feature. Why is it so much adored by the impersonalist philosophers? Why are they appreciating that so much? This impersonal feature.
They don't have to surrender to that.
Yeah, they don't have to surrender to that. Not a problem. You don't have to deal with them, right? It's impersonal. Working with people is a problem, right? You're a manager, you know all about it. You have to work with people, many problems. More people, more problems. Some devotees are like, oh no, we don't want people, too many people, too many problems. Keep the temple empty. Just have a few people come on Sunday to give some donations, that's enough. You don't want people becoming devotees. You want to become a devotee? No, discourage them. Because they become a devotee, you got to train them up, you got to take care of them, you got to look after them. You're going to handle all their problems, take a lot of time. It's a big strain, big effort. So impersonal, no one's a person, nothing is real. Everything is just illusion. So people are happy in that way. There's no person to surrender to, nobody to answer to. Just leave everything. This cosmic manifestation, as it is now, it was the same in the past, will continue in the same way in the future. Everything is the same. Well, places do change, of course. You come to Mayapur, you come back after some years, wow, it's so different. You see a lot of changes in Mayapur, right? I came to Mayapur, what's this, Gauranga supermarket? I never saw this before, a new building, Gauranga supermarket. And they take away this one and move that one and open the shop. So everything changes, constant flux. But the world is the same. The elements are the same. Earth, water, fire. It's all the same elements. They're eternal elements. They're not created or destroyed. They're eternal. Material manifestation is temporary and occasional. but it is not false as claimed by the Mayavadi philosophers. Mayavadi, what do they say?
Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya.
Yes, right. Brahma Satyam. The world is truth. So of course we are always, we say, what do we say? We say Brahman Satyam, Jagat Satyam. Right? We say the Brahman is truth, the world is also truth. They say the world is false. They say it's false, but they're very expert in enjoying it. Although they claim it's false, why are you trying to enjoy it? So we can challenge them like that. Okay, we'll take a break. Chant Gayatri.
ऐसे बोलते हैं कि सब ऐसा जो भी पास है तो वो तो आगे पहुंचाई के लिए आज बहुत लोग घर में सोते हैं क्योंकि कुंभ मेला के पानी को गंगा तक आ and you can see Mangala who in minus 5 degrees during tapasya. So yogi